States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Please silence or turn off your cell phones. Thank you. I remind those in the audience and those watching on TV that this is the first hearing of any rezoning, text change, or special exception request brought before us today. We will first hear a reading of the staff report for the case by planning staff and ask the applicant to provide a brief overview of the request. We will then give the opportunity for anyone in the audience to speak for or against that request or to inquire about said request. The commissioners will have any needed discussion on the case. Once a motion is made and seconded by the commission, a vote will take place and a recommendation will be rendered. The case will go back to the planning department for their independent recommendation. If a favorable recommendation is given, then the case is forwarded to the city council with 2 independent recommendations. If the planning department makes a recommendation for denial, the applicant will have 10 days from receipt of the letter stating the denial to notify the clerk of council that they are requesting to be placed on the city council's agenda. The City Council of Columbus will hold a public meeting called the first reading. Said council shall consider the case, review Planning Advisory Commission and Planning Department recommendations, and hear discussions on the matter. Council will make a final decision at a second public meeting called the second reading. All right, our first agenda today is to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Does anyone have any comments or corrections regarding the minutes? All right. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the minutes? All right, Mr. Baker, second. All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right. That brings us to our first case of the day. REZN 07241566, a request to rezone 3.26 acres of land located at 7607 Chatsworth Road. Current zoning is residential estates, RE1. Proposed zoning is light manufacturing, industrial, LMI. The proposed use is an auto repair facility. Thompson Biz Holdings, LLC is the applicant. The property is located in Council District 6, Allen. Can we please hear from staff?
Good morning. This is a 3.26 acre property. Right now it is zoned RE1 and the applicant is requesting LMI zoning for an auto repair facility. The property is surrounded by industrial zoning with LMI to the south and west and HMI to the east. This is compatible with existing land uses and no calls or emails were received regarding this.
All right, does any commissioners have any questions for staff? All right. Would the applicant please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and give us a brief overview of your request?
Emerald Thompson, address 84 Dillon Court, Ellerslie, Georgia. I just moved here and I found this property and it looked like a great site for a mechanic shop.
Sir, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if your mic's on.
May not be on.
Okay. Maybe the first one.
We've got someone coming.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Okay. Better.
There you go.
Okay. So my name is Emerald Thompson. I reside at 84 Dunley Court in Ellerslie, Georgia. And I identify this location as a good spot for a mechanic shop. Everything around it's commercial. It's FedEx, some repair facilities and stuff like that. It's basically in a commercial warehouse district area. It just seems to be out of zoning. It's not compatible with anything else right now.
All right, anybody have any questions for the applicant? All right, I see none. Would the commissioner like to make a motion? Yes, Mr. King.
I'll be glad to. REZN 07241566, request for zone 3.26 acres of land located at 7607 Chatsworth Road. Current zoning is RE1. Proposed zoning is LMI. Make a motion that we approve this because it is compatible with existing land uses.
I'd like a second. All right, Mr. Steed, all in favor, raise your right hand. All righty. Thank you, sir. It's been approved.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All righty. That brings us to our second case of the day. REZN 08241826, requested for a text amendment to the UDO Table of Permitted Uses, Table 3.1.1. Proposed amendment is to allow a tattoo and body piercing shop to be located in Central Riverfront District. zoning district as a special exception use. Mary Moore is the applicant. I don't see Ms. Moore out there. We can either turn it down or table it, or what do you request?
We can table it to the next meeting. The second and third are for the same applicant. So
Oh,
we'll
okay.
just table both to October 2nd. And I'll get in touch with her. I can read the staff report now, or we can wait till October 2nd when she's here to answer any questions.
I think wait, be fine.
I think
We
so.
don't have anything to do.
Do we need a motion?
Yeah, do you need a motion?
Make a motion to table it.
All right, second. All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Yes, ma'am, it's tabled. All right, gets us on down to number 4. Our next case of the day, REZN 09241941, a request for a text amendment to the UDO Section 13.1.1, Section 4.3.3, Table 3.1.1, and Table 4.3.3. Columbus Consolidated Government is the applicant. Can we hear from staff? Oh, okay. Ma'am, are you Ms. Moore? Yes. All right, could you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record? And I need to hear from staff first.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just backtrack a little bit. Okay. For the text amendment, that is going to be an amendment to Table 3.1.1 of our permitted uses table in the UDO, and that would allow a tattoo and body piercing shop to be located in the Central Riverfront District, CRD. Right now, that use is permitted by special exception in UPT and permitted outright in GC. This would make it a special exception use, so it would still have to come to Planning Commission and City Council for approval.
All right, any questions for staff concerning the, all righty? Yes, sir.
So currently, are tattoo parlors and body piercings allowed in the CRD?
No, only in I'm so sorry. Only in GC outright, and then UPT with a special exception, nowhere else.
Okay.
This text amendment would allow it to be in CRD with a special exception.
Okay.
So the one on 9th Street is not in CRD?
That is in UPT. And so she
UPT.
came before about a year ago and did this exact same process, a text amendment followed by the special exception
Okay.
for that one.
All right.
So if the changes made for that particular, for CRD, what would happen if a second, I mean, how does the process work for the
It
second
would
person
be
that
a
comes
special exception, so they
Would
would
still
just.
be a special
They would,
exception.
yes, they would come for Planning Commission first and then just a first reading at City Council.
along? Okay, gotcha.
But what would differentiate one from another? And I'm ignorant of the industry, so I'll confess that.
One from the other.
So let's say we had 10 tattoo parlors or tattoo shops in downtown Columbus. I mean, is there,
They would every tattoo shop that wants to be in CRD or UPT has to come before Planning Commission and City Council
okay.
if this text amendment is approved. They couldn't just be permitted outright.
But currently, they're not permitted at all, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Only in UPT by special exception and GC.
got it.
Do we have any opposition or anything, or?
I only received one call, and they were just confused because they said, I thought we couldn't have tattoo parlor shops here. And I'm like, well, this is the process that we're going through. And that was it. They weren't in opposition, they just wanted clarification.
I have a question. Does the tattoo parlor have to be a certain amount of feet, space, or?
No, they have a lot of health code requirements, but we don't have any in our building ordinances requirements for size.
All right, any other questions for, yes, ma'am.
So at this point, we don't have any in Columbus.
If there are any in CRD, which I don't think there are, they would be non-conforming. So they're allowed to be there because they were there before.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for the staff? Okay, would the applicant please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and give us an overview of your request?
Yes, Mary Moore.
You need to stay at the podium, please. That's okay.
Okay. Excuse me. Mary Moore, 1506 6th Avenue. The proposal is for 1234 Broadway. It's now the Pop-Up Event Center. Jason Gamache owns it. We are currently on Veterans Parkway. We opened a year and a half ago. We are very upscale, posh. We wanted to make an environment where women felt safe coming. We get a lot of military wives that come in. We also do permanent makeup, which is microblading and lip blushing. And so that's what we're bringing downtown. It's going to be very upscale. There'll be dress code for the tattoo artists. I'm very particular about who I hire. We are definitely focused on customer service, and it's going to be a whole new thing for Columbus. And we're excited about that to bring it. It's going to be very nice. And I have a rendering if you guys want to see that. But we've done very well in the last year and a half, and we're just, want more space. But I think we'll have like 10 tattoo artists at this place that we're renting, and 2 permanent makeup and 2 piercers.
All right, any questions for the applicant?
What do you expect your hours will be?
Right now we are closed on Sunday and Monday, and then we're open from 12 to 8, and then we'll keep those hours.
Okay, gotcha.
And we're usually appointment only, but I think being downtown, we'll do walk-ins just because, of the
Sure.
traffic.
Did you have a question, Xavier?
What was the increase in traffic?
No increase in traffic. That would be in the next staff report. This one's just the text amendment. So the questions about hours, that's addressed in the next one as well. But there's no increase, and there's no parking requirements in CRD either.
I have a question about why it was omitted from the original. In other words, why are we amending it? Why wasn't it included when all the other ones were listed? Was there?
From what I understand, it probably should have been. It just was not. And again, I wasn't here 10 years ago when this was overhauled, so I can't answer that. But it seems like it's something that would be a permitted use in that area.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that it's pretty popular to get a tattoo, and we allow medical offices, so why wouldn't we allow a tattoo parlor? There was historically one there a long time ago that closed, and that was all that was there for a long time.
So just a clarification, the first of these is us approving the possibility that
Yes, the first one is not hers specific. The first one is a text amendment that she brought forth to us.
the possibility of
For the
even
whole
having-
zoning district,
Right.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? You got one, Ray? Okay, saw your light on. Okay. Is there anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of this request? I see none. Anybody like to speak against this request? All right, we'll move forward.
And can I mention one more thing? We're also, my son is a fine artist. He's the lead tattooer. We're also going to be doing paintings, and it'll be gallery-like as well, because we'll be doing those on consignment with artists, local artists.
Yes, Mr. King.
I do have one more question. Is there a certain licensure you have to have from the state to perform whatever you're doing here?
Oh, yes, we definitely, all my studio has to be permitted by the health department, and all of my tattoo artists have to get certified, take tests, which we've all done that just recently, because it's new legislation this year, and the health department regulates us, yearly.
Regarding the text amendment, I can remember the way downtown Columbus used to be, and I know there's lots of money has gone into downtown Columbus to reinvest it and basically reimagine and rebuild it. And I wasn't here when they did this, the original CRD information, but I got to believe there was a reason it was left out. And I understand the things that were already down there were grandfathered in, they couldn't have them move. But I would really wonder if this is something that we want to open this to future use.
All right, any other questions? Would the commissioner like to make a motion? Yes, Mr. King?
I'll make a motion regarding REZN 08-24-18-26, request for text amendment change to the UDO. Table of permitted uses, table 3.1.1, proposed amendments to allow tattoo and body piercing shop located in the CRD zoning district as a special exception use. I'll make a motion, we approve it, and based on the fact that these cases will have to come before us and council.
All right, we get a second. Yes, Mr. Steele, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? All right. All right, that brings us to our second part of this, right, Morgan? All right. A special exception, EXCP 08241827, request for special exception use located at 1234 Broadway Street. Current zoning is CRD. The proposed use is a tattoo studio. Mary Moore is the applicant. The property is located in Council District 7, Kogel. Could we hear from staff, or do you need to?
Yes, we covered some of this already, but
Right.
in this staff report, it just states that the average annual daily traffic is 5,240. We don't have trip generator details available for this type of use, and access is adequate. Parking is available on both sides of Broadway. There are no parking requirements in CRD. Water, utility, police, fire protection, already all available. This is going into an existing building. The business is open 12 to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. And we received only one call just asking how it was going to be allowed, and 25 property owners were notified.
All right, any questions for staff concerning? Yes,
I have a question.
yes, Ms. Thomas.
Okay, I see the different titles. One is called a tattoo body piercing shop,
Yes, ma'am.
and one is called a tattoo studio. I mean,
That is a me problem, not a her problem.
okay, it's no, they're the same.
They're the exact same thing. I must have just been typing fast. But in our table of uses, it's called a tattoo and body piercing shop. So I
Okay.
try to stay consistent, but it looks like I was just typing away.
Thank you.
That's right. Any other questions for staff? All right, do we need to hear from the applicant on this as well? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. King.
Just a couple of questions for you. You are currently located, where did you say, Veterans?
Veterans Parkway, we're, like right when you go past, Walgreens and Enterprise, we're right there on the left, of the White House.
Okay,
It's got the gravel driveway.
gotcha. Are y'all keeping that?
Yes, I'm actually gonna do a boutique there.
Okay.
Yep, after I move out of this one.
So my second question is, how much will you pay in rent for this place downtown?
$6,500.
A month?
Yes, a month.
So that's significant.
Yes, it is.
What draws you, what makes this, I mean, that's got to be a lot more than you pay
Oh, yes, it
at
is.
Veterans Parkway.
It is.
Why this place?
Because I think it's something Columbus is missing, is a place, you know, to go, a tattoo studio that you can go to that's nice and you feel comfortable in, and it's upscale. As I said, Jason Gamache owns the building. He was saying that Chris Woodruff goes all the way to New York because there's nowhere around here he feels comfortable getting a tattoo. So this is something that, you know, we started out wanting it to be like a parlor, kind of really cool vibe and upscale and great customer service, and people felt safe and it was clean. And we, you know, it's well decorated, it's really cute. And that's what we want to bring downtown. And I think it's just going to do well with the military, with the, you know, college students, and with people just, you know, want to get a tattoo, which is, you know, very popular. She said, I mean, everybody pretty much has them now. And we just want to do something that Columbus is missing and provide, you know, a safe environment to do it.
Can I see the
absolutely.
drawing that you have, please?
I did too. Forget that thing.
Maybe, maybe not.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Okay.
nice.
Was this drawn for y'all?
I did it.
Oh, okay. Well, and so this is going to be an exact representation or fairly
Pretty
close?
much. That's pretty much the decor. I've bought all this stuff just like that. In the front, it doesn't show the front, but I have a really grand retail display, really nice reception area. We're actually going to sell a brand of clothing called Tattoo Golf, a golf line of clothing that's going to be really cool. It's kind of edgy, but it's, you know, it is golf, and so I think that'll also add to the
Perfect, thank you.
atmosphere, yeah.
It was
Yes, Mr.
interesting.
Thomas.
So
Sorry,
both-
I apologize. Go ahead, Ms.
Oh,
Gloria.
I'm sorry. Both of them are gonna be in this order.
I'm sorry, ma'am, what?
They're gonna be both looking like this.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Now, that's just like the middle of it. In the loft area, I'll have 4 stations up there, and that'll be for the permanent cosmetics. And then as you move forward, because it's a huge place, it'll have the reception desk, nice couches, you know, and a lobby area, and then a retail area.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you do body piercing, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, if there's certain parts of the body that you don't want to sit in those chairs and do, where is,
That's upstairs, and there'll be curtains that pull, but we will not do anything below the,
that's upstairs?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, we're not doing
Okay. Thank you. I just know there are different places
Oh,
people
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so upstairs we'll have 3 private
Private.
areas that you can go to. And those curtains will pull if anyone wants privacy for a tattoo, or we'll move them up if they're having something done that's, you know,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
It was interesting to me that you said hours 12 to 8. What's the mentality behind? I mean, downtown goes on long after 8 p.m., but what's your mentality on that?
Just because we do by appointment only, and usually, you know, artists, you know, a lot of, especially like my son, he's a top one. He does 6-7 hours in a chair. That's all they can do. I mean, that's just back-breaking.
All right, any other questions for the?
I have one. So with downtown being restricted with parking, you know, that has been a problem for a lot of businesses. You still think it's gonna be easy to generate the $6,500 a month in rent?
Oh, yes, I do that now with just 4 artists where I'm at, more than that weekly. But, yes, I think it's normal downtown parking with the parking garages, you know, and the foot traffic, I think is a lot of what we'll get, but I think they'll find adequate parking.
Yes, Mr. Baker.
Is this Davis Tattoo Studios, what it'll be called?
Yes, it's C. Davis Tattoo Studio. And then this is the old pop-up building. So it already has all the art, it's facilitated with that, yes. So we've already been buying beautiful gold framed framed, you know, for the art and canvases, so it'll look really nice.
Any other questions? Commissioner like to make a motion? Yeah. Yes, Mr. Baker.
When it comes to EXCP 824-1827, a request for special exception use located at 1234 Broadway Street. Current zoning is Central Riverfront District. The proposed use is tattoo studio. I recommend that we approve this. We just approved the text amendment, and it seems like they have got a great business plan.
Get a second? Yes, Dr. McCaskey. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? All right. All right, ma'am, good luck.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
All right, that brings us to our final case of the day, a text amendment, REZN 09241941, a request for a text amendment to the UDO section. Oh, is the same one? No, go ahead. Yeah, sorry. UDO is 13.1.1, section 4.3.3, table 3.1.1, and table 4.3.3. Columbus Consolidated Government is the applicant. Could we please hear from
Yes.
staff?
We have been going through the UDO for quite a while now, since I've been here, trying to clean it up, clean up definitions, find inconsistencies. We're working with all the different departments, so you will be seeing a lot of these little text amendments as we go through it. So this first one, the amend section 13.1.1, that's our definitions, and we're adding a definition for oil change facility. Right now, that's an auto repair minor, so it's gonna have its own definition. And then we're gonna amend the definition of auto truck repair by removing oil and fluid changes, because now oil change facility will have its own designation and definition. The table 4.3.3 is adding cryptocurrency mining parking requirements. That was not included originally. It was put under the incorrect subheading. So we're just fixing that. And then we have to amend section 3.1.1 to add the oil change facility. That's our permitted uses table. I'm sorry, I didn't put that in first. So we're having these definitions, and then we're putting them in the permitted uses list. And then we're gonna amend club or lodge membership in that table as well. And if you saw in the staff report, that would put club or lodge membership as special exception in RE 10.5.1, CRD, and then permitted outright in RO, CO, and GC. And then oil change facility, now that we have that new definition, that would be permitted by special exception in UPT, permitted outright in NC, GC, SAC, LMI, HMI.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for the staff? Yeah, I don't know if I understood all that either. There's a lot of numbers.
So those oil change facilities have just kind of been,
Oil change has been put under auto repair minor, and so now it has its own category and definition.
Okay.
And I'm sorry that that was so confusing.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So what if a facility has the oil change and the auto repair? What category?
Then they would just be an auto repair minor, but if it's just one of those oil change places, it can be in its own category now and wouldn't have to be considered a whole auto repair facility.
is that kind of like Jiffy Lube that just went in? Okay, out on Thompson? Okay, all right.
So auto repair minor is still a bigger umbrella.
Yeah, we
Right.
also have auto repair major as well.
What would be an example of that? Of like a car dealer?
Yeah, we have, let's see, auto truck repair minor right now reads as installation, maintenance, and repair of air conditioning systems, audio systems, brake, cooling system, electrical system, exhaust, fuel, shock absorbers, tune-ups, and wheel alignment and balancing for automobiles, trucks, and motorcycles.
That falls, I
Yes,
didn't,
Ms. Thomas, go ahead.
that falls up under what? The auto mechanic part, not just the oil change, right?
That's the auto truck repair minor, and that's where oil change used to have to go under. Even if they were only doing an oil change, they would have to find a spot that was permitted for all these things, even if they weren't doing any of those other things. But now they have their own category,
Just for the oil?
just for the
only?
oil change.
Okay, thank you.
Are any other questions for the staff? The commissioner like to make a motion to approve the special exception? Yes, Mr. Baker?
Yeah. For REZN 924-1941, a request for a text amendment to the UDO, section 13.1.1, section 4.3.3, table 3.1.1, and table 4.3.3. The government is the applicant. Coming from them as a recommendation, I recommend we approve.
All right, a second. All right, Dr. Paskey, all in favor, raise your right hand. All righty. Is there any other business we need to discuss before we adjourn? All right, would the commissioner like to make a motion to adjourn? All right, second. All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. We're adjourned.